Ah, Demon Souls. What a beautiful yet challenging game. But before we get into that, let's check out the story. Demon Souls is said to be a RPG, yet it's really not powerful when it comes to story. Basically, there's a bunch of monsters taking over the world and one big leader controlling all of them. And you are said to be the hero and needs to save the world from destruction. It consists of several different realms and each realm ends in a boss fight. But not every realm has only one boss fight. Some realms have up to 3 different boss fights, making the game seem much longer and harder than you would expect. After fully completing a realm, you gain a special power and one step closer to unlocking the final realm and eventually beating the game. Basically, the old casual hero game. But hey, that's not always a bad thing because Demon Souls is surely the most rewarding game of all time, at least in my opinion. Mainly because of the difficulty of the amazing yet challenging combat. And with that, let's get into gameplay. Okay, so picture a game where the movements of a character are real. For example, heavy armor slows your rolls down and slows your attack speed down. And with light armor, the exact opposite. This is basically Demon's Souls. Different types of weapons and armors made out of different material that change your overall combat experience. But what makes Demon's Souls different from all the other RPGs? Difficulty. This game is hard and expect to die, and I mean die a lot. But with difficulty comes reward, and the satisfaction that you get after beating a boss is just incredible. So my best tip to stay alive is block, because each hit takes away a pretty good amount of health. Oh, and don't forget about the potions, because you'll need a lot. Overall, this game is really hard and requires practice to master, but you will receive a great feel of accomplishment. Now with the actual combat. Attacks are smooth and not too complicated. It's simple. You have fast attacks which do normal damage and slow attacks which do major damage. The combination of both create a very realistic and smooth battlefront. You can also cast spells which are really unique and fun every time you beat a boss, you unlock a really cool spell, which comes in handy a lot. To wrap this all up, the gameplay is smooth and fun, spells are a blast to use, and the feel of accomplishment after beating a boss is outstanding. And last but not least, let's wrap it up with some multiplayer. Multiplayer is simple. When you're in soul form, which basically means when you're dead, and walking your own form, soul form, you can be summoned by another player that is requesting help beating a realm, which I talked about earlier. Once summoned, you play in the realm the other player's in and help him until 1, you either die, or 2, both of you make it to the boss and defeat the boss. If you help the player beat a boss, you are rewarded your human form, which means all your health is back. But you don't have to help them out, because you have an option to invade a player's realm and hunt him down and kill that player. Succeed and you get your human form back. Fail and you're back in soul form. Multiplayer can come in handy a lot, especially in those tough bosses that is almost impossible with no help at all. There's no in-game voice chat though, but there are some unique ways to communicate. For example, bloodstains are replays of players from other worlds being killed. So it's basically a warning that something might come up, like a fall, a trap, anything. You can also write little tips or notes that people can rate depending on if you helped them or not. For example, you could write trap ahead, warning people of a trap. And they rate it depending on if you help them or not. The more rates you get, the more it will appear. All in all, multiplayer is a very fun experience that should be definitely used and enjoyed by any Demon Souls game owner. Now, thinking about this game, thinking about if you buy or not, well, let's go into the verdict. Demon Souls is a very fun game that should be experienced by any PS3 owner out there. Its smooth combat and intense boss fights is sure to catch interest in any gamer. The satisfaction of finally beating the game is truly unbelievable. If you haven't picked up this game, then you need to, because it's a must-have. My final score for Demon Souls is 9.5 out of 10, only because of the lack of a true RPG story. Other than that, it's an amazing game and should be picked up right away. It's been Mad Sniper 13, and I hope you enjoyed this review. Please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.